All right, guys, can I just get everyone to come here and just gather around the board here for a minute?
No.
All right, so just before we get into this week's lesson, can we just sort of throw some concepts or what we've been doing in the last few lessons? Yeah, sure. Just so we can, get a bit of an idea about where we're going to move to from there. Yes, what specifically? So what did we work on last lesson?
Setting up for attack.
Set up for attack, yep.
Transitioning to defence.
Transitioning. Yeah, good. So what we've been doing is a lot of 3v3 work. So we're going to bring all these tactical and technical understandings together and play a lot more 6-on-6 if numbers permit. Well, perfect. Perfect. So before we get into it, the aim of this lesson is, I've got it up on the board here, so I want you guys to understand how to transition from receiving the serve into attack, and also how exercise affects your cardiorespiratory system, because that's what we've been doing in our theory lessons. We'll cover more on that in a minute. We want you to know the correct positions for the service received, and we want you to be able to receive the serve effectively as a team, and then transfer the theory that we've been learning about the cardiorespiratory system into this practical lesson. So what we've sort of been covering this week in our theory topic is the gas exchange and then the airways, about how the oxygen gets into the lungs and then into the bloodstream. So there's a bit more of a visual representation. Dylan, don't answer this question because I've already asked you. Can anyone have a guess as to what this might resemble when it comes to the respiratory system?
Areola.
What? Areola?
Areola.
Alveolar? Yep. Can you sort of elaborate on that a little bit more?
The sacs.
The air sacs at the end of your bronchioles? Yep. Does anyone else sort of picture that? So at the end of your bronchioles, you've got little air sacs called alveoli, so which sort of look like that. They're all bunched together, much smaller, and then you've got fishnet stockings on them. Josh, yeah, it's your Saturday night picture. So if you can imagine like fishnet stockings, but really fine, which cover all the surface area of those alveoli, and that's where the gas exchange happens from the air into your lungs. Gas exchange happens here and goes into your bloodstream. So what we're going to do is I'll ask you a few questions throughout this short lesson about how you think your running around on the volleyball court might affect that. So what we'll do first is we're going to get straight into a 6v6 game. Can I just get you guys all to partner up? Doesn't matter who with. Partner up. One partner, can you put your hand up? One of that partner. Put your hand up. Yep. Team one, can you go this middle court here? Can you go on that other side of this court? Team two is over here. So before we get into it, guys, I just want you to think, when we're doing this warm-up exercise, think about your service receive, which is what the big topic of the lesson is. So organise yourselves however you want. Okay, go for it. Good luck. Rotate around.
Lock that.
Hold there. You guys stay exactly where you are. Can you guys just come and gather just here? Okay, so as I said, this lesson is focusing on the service receive. Is there a particular reason you guys set up like this?
I feel like gaps. If I was to stand back here, there's a much larger gap, which either one of my teammates has to fill in on either side of it. So
Yep.
So it's easier for them to come forward.
Okay. Does everyone, that sort of make sense to everyone? So if Marco being in his position here comes forward a little bit, and then what about everyone, what about the setup of everyone else? What do you guys think would be the most effective way to set up?
I reckon the two front people on the sides come back a little bit and defend the sideline, so then these guys can come up and in a little bit, so Marco doesn't have to cover that whole centre bit.
Yep.
And then
So-
the centre's up at the net.
So you mean if James and Dylan come back with that blue line roughly
Yep.
on the very outside?
Yep.
And so we still got our setter at the front?
Yep. So they can come forward if they need to for
Yep.
a low one, and then
Okay,
the back two can come in a bit.
good. So do you think if we're setting up for a service receive, it's a smart idea to have one of your players standing directly behind another player? No? So maybe a more effective way would be to push the two front ones out to the very edge, have the one at the back just take that step inwards, so you're scattered, so James isn't blocking the line of the view of Warwick. If we set like that, so Dylan, if you go on the very outside, yep. And Marco, if you come up, and we're going to set her up at the net. So what we call this, guys, is the W formation. So we always need a setter at the net because we always want to be able to set up for attack. But this W formation here, as you can see what it is, it's one of the most effective strategies to receive a serve in volleyball because it's staggered. There's people covering just about every spot on the court. No one's blocking anyone's view. Does that make sense to everyone? Is there any other questions about that? No? Okay, so everyone just come back in here. We're going to move straight into our practice task. Sorry, that didn't go for as long as what I had planned. Okay, so that W formation. So we had the setter here, then we had these two on the outside here. We had in the back row, a little bit further back, and then the middle guy covers the setter because he's come forward. So does that make sense? So for this next practice task, we're going to separate into this. We'll use the same teams. So the aim of it is, so let me just make sure I word this correctly. So one team will set up like this, we'll call this team A. So team B over here, we want you to set up with 3 blockers, and then you're going to have, it's going to be a cooperative serve, so it's going to be served towards the back of the court. Okay, the serve's just going to come from here, and then the other 2 players will be here and here. So we need 2 balls. Right. Yeah, we need 2 balls. So this server here is going to cooperatively serve the ball towards the back of the court as if it was a normal serve. This team here is going to try and transition and set up to attack. So once that ball has gone over, where do you think these 2 should go to set up for attack?
Spot where they can spot.
Yep, so maybe come a bit further up here. Come up, because the idea to set up for attack is you want to get that dig or that set to that setter there. And then that setter's got 2 opportunities to go back here or back here.
And depending on where they are,
Up there.
they're set up ready to transition back off the net to come in.
That's it.
Initiate the spike.
That's it. So that's one of the, that's what we want you guys to understand from this lesson is to how to transition from that service receive, from this, into an attacking position, which is here. Because these guys can be the hitters. Okay, so once you've set up for that service receive, transition to attack, get the ball over the net, what's your next move? Defense, which is W formation. So as soon as that ball, you've transitioned to attack, got that ball back over the net with a spike if possible. These guys here can try and block, but as soon as that ball passes that net, that second ball has got to be thrown back over the net. And it's up to team A to get back into position as quick as they can, then they go through that process again, transition to attack. All right, so we'll do that 2 or 3 times, and I want you rotating through these positions, and then we'll swap sides. All right? Okay, so the team on this side, yeah, you guys can start with the ball first and throw it over. So you guys are team B, you're setting up to attack. So your team A. So you're the 3 blockers.
the teammate setting up to receive that.
Yeah, sorry, setting up to receive. Sorry, I worded that wrong. And then Josh, you put the ball over here. Oh no, you can do the second ball from there. Right, so does everyone know what's going on?
These guys are receiving. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, go for it. Sit. And over. Right, throw the... Okay, now if the third hit doesn't work, just let the ball go and roll over the net and get that second one in straight away. So I want you guys to be thinking about setting up your attack, transitioning to attack, but as soon as that ball goes over this net, your next thought process is get back into that defensive formation. Okay, back in, back in, back in. Good. All right, okay. Right, just before you go again, just rotate through. So actually, you three just move to the back, you three move to the front. And then we'll stop and we'll get you guys involved. So before we go, Lockie, whereabouts are you? That's it. And Dylan, we don't want to be standing directly behind Lockie, so come in forward a bit, yep. There we go. Right. One more, then we'll change. One. Alright, just roll the ball over this game. Alright, now. Yeah, rotate around. Okay, so when you get the ball over, a lot of us are getting, well, this team particularly, they're getting really caught up with just watching that ball go over the net. We really want you to focus on getting back into that position. And if you see a teammate that's not in that position, what you do?
Pull out.
Pull them out. You're trying to work as a team to be in the most effective position possible. So call it out. Go for it.
Next one, next one.
It's all right.
All in, that's mine. Get back.
Second one.
Next one. Next one. Sorry.
That's it. If the ball comes over, just keep throwing them. Just go.
Fine. Again.
There we go.
Okay, hold that. Rotate around one. Alright, so before we go, where are we setting up? That W formation. So you guys are all still on the line here. Alright. There we go. Perfect.
Next one.
One ball on the net.
Nice.
That's it.
The layup.
And set up.
This is hard to watch.
Good.
Hey, just go do it. I'm not doing this again. I'm playing one-handed.
Nice.
So you're going to have a kick for the guys now? You're going to have a kick for the guys? Nah, he's here.
Not a chance.
Hold there. Just rotate once more. If you haven't been to the front, rotate with someone who needs to go to the back. In the front. So Brad, you've done both. So maybe you jump off if you've done both. Better for everyone? Alright, so let's set this up. No, just come on, onto the blue line.
Just
Yeah,
stay
that's
off,
it.
thanks, mate.
There we go.
That's me.
No worries.
Get that.
Oh, efforts.
Next one.
Stop there, stop. Sorry. When I blow the whistle, just stop exactly where you were. Because then, when the ball went over the net, you were standing here, bit of a walk back. Try and get a bit of energy and try and get into that position nice and early. Because you never know, the ball might come back over in one hit, it might come back over in three. So if you get into position early, you set your team up with a higher chance of success. Go a few more.
One. Good.
Good.
Good dig. Like it. Next one. That's me. Right. Fine. Josh.
Nice. Good.
Hey. Set it. Done. Josh. That's mine.
That's a great dig.
Good dig. And set up. That's it, Jared.
Set it. Dig it. Nice. Mine. Josh. Set it.
Great dig.
Set it up.
Alright, hold it there. Come back in here, guys. Come back in here.
Can't block that.
Okay, who's breathing a little bit heavier than what they normally would? Yep. Cam, Josh, yep, good. Alright, who can tell me why they think they're breathing a little bit heavier than usual?
Oxygen deficit.
Oxygen deficit. So what's happening in your lungs? Why do you need more oxygen?
Usually taking more oxygen to muscles and go to messing with lungs.
So if your muscles need more oxygen, what happens for that to happen? What happens in your body to allow your muscles to get more oxygen?
Breathing rate increases.
Tidal volume increases.
Yep.
Blood flow.
Your breathing rate increases, you get more oxygen into your lungs, so there can be a higher gas exchange or